Welcome to my live. I am so excited that you're here. And today we're going to get into how to automate your growth with low risk ads that sell like Netflix. And I'm going to get into what I mean by sell like Netflix in a little bit. But before that, I just want to say I know that if you're here, you're probably showing up, in your business every day. You're posting, you're selling just fine, but your growth just isn't keeping up. So, you're not new to this, and you probably have amazing offers that sell, and you're showing up and you're consistent. It's just that lately, it's like you're speaking to the same people. It's always the same people jumping into your offers. You are having to you're in this place where you're like, okay, I have a small audience, they're engaged and they're great, but every time I show up, you're like, I'm selling to the same people. It's always the same six people that jump in. So I just want to tell you that, and I'm just gonna say this because it's dropping in right now. Like, it's not your messaging, right? You've already dialed that in. It's not your mindset. You have a great mindset, and it's definitely not your consistency. I'm just trying to say it's not your fault. Like, it's not that you have to be that you don't have the energy or whatever. It's literally just reach. Like, I'm not gonna say, like, I just feel like this needs to be said. Like, it is reach that is affecting how much you are now making, because so often we hear like, oh, it's your messaging, it's this or that, it's the vibe. No, it's reach, right? And if that's the case, then you're probably like, okay, I'm at this place where, like, I'm done being, the engine of every single sale, and you're like done posting to stay relevant. And you have this like feeling like, it's like, let me just state the obvious, right? If you didn't blow up on Instagram in like 2020, 2022, organic growth just is different now. It's just different. It's not that it doesn't work, it's just very different. And we need to name that. Like, this needs to be addressed, because the way we've been told to, like, now continue to create this visibility in the same way, that isn't as effective anymore. Whereas before, there was so much reach, like, just by sheer volume, you would make sales, you would get people jumping in no matter what kind of content you had. And that's why we then shifted to more direct content, because it is a byproduct of what is happening in the algorithm. You're like, okay, it's kind of broken, right? That we're still being like fed this now. There's basically become a fallacy. So to put that into like more like layman's terms, like, let's zoom out for a second, right? So the average buyer takes 7+ hours of brand interaction to convert. 7 hours. Now, think about the way that we're, again, continued to be taught to do content. So it's like 4-second reels, 15-second stories, 30-second TikToks. Think about, like, those like quick carousels. And even if someone wanted to buy from you, they need months of micro interactions of like all this scattered content to hit that, to even get close to the 7-second threshold. And meanwhile, you're being told like, oh, it'll all add up. By the time, like, you've lost most of everybody who started on that journey. So this is why, right? You end up getting people in your messages saying, oh, okay, I'm interested, but like they ghost after a couple of messages because all they had was 2 reels of interaction with your brand to purchase if they're brand new. This is why it gets harder and harder to convert those brand new people, right? And that's why you get people into and that's why you have to resort to like doing like big huge income claims to get attention, or that's why you have to resort to messaging that is not quite there, that is not quite pulling in the right person, if especially if it's flashy or big or whatever. And that's why when people come through to your sales conversations after just a couple of those limited interactions, they're like hard to sell to. They're like wanting to think about it more, or they have price objections. It's because as a result of them of you not positioning yourself and your content in a way that mimics how they purchase is why this is happening. And who wants to be in a sales call taking someone from a 0 to a 10? I don't, right? So again, it's not because you're not magnetic, because you are. Everybody's magnetic in one way or another. We're like that naturally. It's because your system does not support and does not mimic how people actually purchase today. And if you're like, okay, so what is the answer then? Because on the one hand, you're being told do not even think about running ads until you're like at 6, 7 plus figures. You should like, people, these people are like, and they're telling you like, there's no reason why you should even go. Like, excuse me, have you started over again in 2025 and been like consistent? Because again, consistency is, if it was because consistency actually and it all added up and just stayed consistent, then you would already be making the kind of money you want to make, right? So again, it's a different playing field, and this situation just really grinds my gears because I was like, okay, I am not going to continue to gaslight and lie to myself about all that's going on. And I was like, you know what? Instead of trying to do having short form content do the work of everything, right? Because as a result of us like trying to convert people as quickly as possible before we lose them to the fact that they're just not getting that the kind of interaction that they need in the format that we are doing with reels and stories and quick short form content. Just we're just continuing to flood everything with even more content, so that reinforces you posting even more. And what's also happening is that we are now making short form content do everything. Like, it's supposed to attract, convince, convert, like nurture, do everything, when the name of this thing is called a reel. It's just supposed to reel people in. That's it. It's what happens after that that you need to make sure. So it's not just about getting attention, it's about holding it. So that's why I created a bingeable Netflix style content experience that builds belief, connection, and conversion all in one sitting. So it condenses that 7 plus hours, or in many people's cases, months of nurturing, into a way for my clients to like binge my mini series. They get immersed into my world. And by the time they get to my offer, they're already sold. So now I've taken it even further because I am an ad strategist. So obviously, I'm going to say, let's pair this up with low risk ads and just automate the whole damn thing. That's what powers this entire system. So, and these ads, I absolutely love them, even from an energetic point of view, because they invite people in, they don't push. And the reason why I call it my bingeable ad system is because the ad itself is bingeable. Then you dive into my world and you can't get enough. And there's a lot that goes into it. But at the core of it, it is simple, automated, and designed for sustainability. And of course, scaling, because that's what you want to do. So this bingeable Netflix style system that lets your dream client just like come into your world, it takes them from who is this to take my money in just one sitting. And what it looks like is, and I'm just going to give you a brief overview. I didn't download the OBS system here to share my screen, but what I'm looking at right now is like just a general overview, and I will post this in the chat, and I'll remember to actually link it this time. It starts with your bingeable miniseries. That is at the core of this entire system. It is what people are binging, but around that miniseries is visibility ads. So this is like the first type of ad. So these are very, very low risk ads that bring in cold yet aligned people because they're binging your ad, which a part of that is having, for example, the first episode is one of the ads of the miniseries, right? So these people come into your world, and you don't need a long, complicated funnel for this, or huge ad spend and all. It's literally pennies per view. But what this does is it essentially mimics what you do on social media when you are posting, except this time it's guaranteed reach, right? It is so low risk that, I mean, it's literally like you cannot get it wrong, right? And once they see the mini series. So you're gonna get views, and you're gonna start to then get people binging your series through and through. And then what I like to do is also do audience growth ads. So these are built to grow your list with those same dream clients who are also, you retarget most of the people who are also watching. And now you've got them in your email list, and they're already halfway to a yes by then. But your email list also nurtures them back into the series. And then what you have at the end of the series is probably an offer, or some sort of way to connect or work with you, like maybe if you'd like to do sales calls, is to remind them to like get back into the series, book the call if they haven't, jump into your program if they didn't. And that like plugs the holes in your funnel, because no matter what kind of funnel you have, no regard, and this works for any type of offer, low ticket, high ticket, mid ticket, group coaching program, even VIP type luxury programs. This helps to make sure that the people who are almost there without pressure, no hard selling, get back into your funnel, and you stay top of mind. So think about this system, right? And think about the person that you become once you have this dialed in and working. Like I said, I've been refining this for a couple of months with my students, and they're already getting amazing results. This is some of the things that I'm going to be showing inside of the new updated mini series. It's going to be still podcast style, but it's going to be video as well. So I'm very excited to do that. So again, this system does the nurturing for you, just straight up. Like, you don't have to replace your social media. Like, if you're like, well, okay, like I want to build this, I want to give it a shot, but I'm not, you don't, this can work alongside of it. You can then actually have reels do exactly what they need to do, just reel people in, and then you funnel them into this. This also automates your authority. So you show up as an authority inside of this container, because people are like, wait a minute, the way that I teach you how to organize your thoughts and organize the episodes. And this is literally like 3 to 4 episodes. It is a micro series. So it's not so much what goes into it, it's just what you're saying in it. And so again, it collapses the buying window dramatically. I had somebody who was in my group reach out from one post. So if you want to mimic this, like say without ads, one post, jumped into the mini series, say I'm sold, and just needed a quick, not even a sales call, just a quick connection call. And I had less than 17 people at this point, and she became a 5K client, like in just a day. I did not have to chase her. I did not have to convince her. I did not have to do extra like chasing around, like in terms of like extra nurturing. And so the goal of this is that by the time they hit your sales page, by the time they reach out, they're already a yes. And the best part is, again, you don't need to be everywhere. You don't need to constantly stay visible. You can be visible with these ads without you actually having to show up. Because I know that you want to show up as a CEO in your business, not as like a salesperson, right? And again, you just need a system that lets them binge you, and then makes it easy for them to buy, right? Because the way that I teach, like how to work with this, is like, you want to get to the person, not just to the person who has a problem that you can solve, not just a person who wants to solve that problem that you can solve, but a person who's actually taking steps to solve that problem. So they're the ones Googling, they're the ones that are actually trying different solutions. And if they're still trying different solutions, and they haven't quite landed on what something that they truly resonate or work with them, then they're at the point in their buying journey where they want to move quickly, and they're like, I'm ready to invest, I'm ready to solve this problem, I'm ready to go in, I'm ready to roll up my sleeves and do the work. And so when you present them with a bingeable mini series where they can immediately gain trust, immediately find out your solutions, immediately find out who you are, immediately understand how you solve their unique problem, it makes it so much easier for them to have to go through hoops of like going to your social media page and then clicking through a reel and then going here and there. Again, it's not that doesn't work. It's just not as efficient. And let me just say this, like, you are not behind, right? You're just ready for a smarter system. And I'd love to show it to you. So pretty soon, I'm going to be, like I said, I'm going to be dropping the updated version of my private podcast. It's going to have more content, it's going to have bonus training, and again, it's going to have this like bigger breakdown of the entire bingeable ad system, including how to launch this within 30 days in a very simple format, and everything that you need in order to succeed with this. So when I launch this new mini series, it will be for a limited time. Like, you'll have a limited time to complete it, and if you complete it within that limited time, you will get a bonus training that's going to be up. That bonus training will be a part of my signature program, the bingeable ad system, that you'll be able to drop into right now. And so if you want to get first access to that mini series the second it is live, please drop the word binge below and you can connect with me. But otherwise, I will post the link to a quick one-page breakdown of what it sort of looks like with the email flow and how the mini series is like at the center of it. It's like pretty simple, but it's going to like just paint a picture for you. And yeah, okay. Thank you so much for joining. I am going to jump off right now, and I'll see you next time. Bye.